Hello everyone, this is Fantastic Worlds, welcoming you back to Lovecraft Country and Cultist Simulator Exile DLC, the Fugitive Run. And as you can see in our Fugitive Run, we've managed to get about a shit ton of guns and of course both the martial companions. Which is ridiculous, but you know, what do you expect? The game is designed to make life, as they say, interesting. And I have made one mistake. Quick note, I just realized I forgot to turn the music back on. When I do sound checks, I have to turn the music off temporarily. So here we are in good old Alexandria, which is currently under British occupation in 1925, which is the canon year. But the thing I'm really interested in is the cult of Lionsmith. Lionsmith is the opponent of the kernel and the eternal dynamic of Edge, because remember, Edge doesn't have a single person that's holding it. It has two. Edge represents conflict. In order to have conflict, you got to have two people at least. Anyways, so as I was saying, that we also have gone over 925 subscribers since the last episode, which is awesome. And I do apologize. I'd hoped to get this episode out earlier due to a schedule interruption. Unfortunately, the interruption continued, so we're back to Saturday. And we will do the damnedest we can, however, to try to get as far into the Fugitive Run as possible. Now, remember, the Fugitive Run requires me to get a total of 7 obscurity in order to be able to exit. We are 3 of 7. And however, we're in Alexandria, which has the Invisible Serapeum, which by the way means the Invisible Library, which by the way is the location of the RPG scenario that's set in this universe called The Lady Appears, which obviously probably has something to do with invisibility, which means it's probably here, and this is probably the library in Alexandria. Remember, that supposedly burned down in the Roman times during a populist uprising in which they decided that burning books was cool because that's what all populist uprisings do. And in this timeline, however, most of the important mystical documents were saved by a secret society that we know little about in this game. I'd have no idea what the RPG is. It's not really suited to a Twitch channel, so probably not going to be running it. So in any case, we're going to be trying to get into this, although it's almost impossible. I'd have to get 2 really lucky draws and not get any traces to pull it off. But if I did, you can get 3 obscurity in there. You can get other things like your wounds healed and your traces removed. But if I'm going to get in there, I'm in there for the obscurity. So, but unfortunately, we are packed to murder people with a gun, a rifle with 2 magic bullets, and the best sword in the game. Well, maybe. If you're looking for the most versatile weapon, it's this one. And there is, however, a 12-edge weapon out there. We may find it, you never know. But in any case, and we have our 2 friends, Dominikus the Baker, who's... You know, I don't suppose any of you out there have actually seen Leverage, but there's this wonderful line about the Butcher of Kiev being terrible, being a terrible thing, but Kiev is so nasty, even the baker is a terrifying figure. And of course, Lalachimia, the huntress of monsters. So, in this point, we really don't have much better to do, except, if I could check, we don't have any money remaining in Alexandria, is to just check out Alexandria. To reconnoiter, because we're essentially trying to find something of some use. We can probably get, if we're good at it, we're going to get something of obscurity making, you know, like a house or a connection here. Or we could just end up looking at the sunset. Whatever. Anyways, but as we are continuing on forward here, give me a moment. Let's put that into place. Let's see what we find. Ooh, find Alexandria. Yeah, again, I'm going to start at normal speed, wait till I catch up. The coffee is kicking in, and we should be fine to go at full speed shortly. But, fortunately, we don't have a trace. All right. The drinker's knife. Oh, dear gods. All right, so I can get this. I can essentially trade the rifle. The rifle's a 4, find your way, but only has 2 shots. This thing is going to be much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take this. We're going to purchase a permanent weapon at the expense of a greater weapon. Now, you notice you only need to spend 1 to get the Lion Hunter's rifle, which is a kernel-based weapon, by the way. But in this case, you can get worth 2, because you essentially get to sell the bullets as well. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're just going to buy ourselves another magic sword, because I had 2 swords, magic swords, and a pistol. Never have too many magic swords in this game, is my guess. All right, let's go. Again with the damn Edge. If I was running a Defiance run, where the one where you go out to kill the foe, yeah, I'd be doing pretty well. I got the perfect setup for it. All right, so As we speak, there we go. The Bed's Blade is a 8 class. And notice, by the way, it's also worth 3. It's, again, another investment. I could spend this for 3 for anything else if I wanted to. So we'll just collect this, put it here. Now we have Knivies. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is also, I believe, the 8-point tool in the standard game. One account says Babid is bastardized Arabic word for mosquito, but my foe used a number of Babid among the Colonel's names. Again, we got more Colonel weapons, because weapons will be dedicated to the Colonel, because Lion Smith smashed his weapon in defiance, because he considered the sword to be the sign of the oppressor, the sign of the civilization forcing itself upon the wild. And the Lion Smith is the chaos and war, which means that he represents the natural, destructive, primal, barbaric side of violence. Which, you know, you can take it or leave which you prefer, but honestly, they're both equally as bad and good as far as I can tell. But, however, to let you know, there is a third God of Edge, which we may be getting into, that is far older than those two. It is not the one you want to play with that often, because it is always hungry. And voila. Faith. I've plastified worship's distraction, 2 heart, and 2 lantern. The problem is I need like a lot more lantern to be able to get by where I want to do. I'm not going to sneer at it, you know what I mean? I mean, the biggest problem I have right now is I have no spare cash. I've got a lot of equipment in reserve here, but no spare cash, and I don't have the ability to generate any more through fighting because, oh my god, do I have the weaponry for that. But, we can, yeah, this essentially will just renew the timer. What we want to do is we want to continue to go over Alexandria. Now we're going to eventually just have to run because I'll put a trace in, and when that happens, we'll just try to sell a year for cash on the way out. So we'll have something for the ticket. Notice with no traces, we're not getting any trouble, and we're still getting lucky. Dawn. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, so the question is, do I dare try to nab the Invisible Serapeum? Because now I have 6 total. When it comes to the lantern energies I'll be needing, I'll need to generate 6 more somehow, and the odds of that are pretty low, but then this isn't going to cost me anything except a trace if I'm wrong. But we're eventually going to get a trace anyways. So at this point, what can we consider? Yeah, we've got a good... We've got to consider whether or not we can do this. And I say we do it. We got to put Dawn in first because that's going to disintegrate in 15 seconds. Simultaneously, while that's occurring, we'll go back through Alexandria and do that because we are definitely making things dangerous at this time. Let's see what we got. Okay. Once we get a trace, we're just going to pop out and start getting cash, like I said. All right, come on, come on, come on. We're rolling the dice and we're seeing what we get. And boom. Now, we've got the sea. The sea is not helpful, people. Apparently I'm sightseeing. Not entirely sure. All right, so the operation's begun. It's probably going to fail, just to let you know, and get me that trace. In the meantime, we're just going to be reckless as well. You never know. It might work. It might fail. The biggest thing I can do right now is get an official connection. That would allow me to be able to get the faith in place. All wounds are doors. Oh, okay. You're going with a knock instead of the lantern. That's fine, but I still need more. Let's see what else have we got. Can the heart get us through? Probably not. The heart would have to be 8, and I don't have the appropriate person for that. You don't have heart either. Just winter and moth. You're not helpful. I would expect you to be helpful. Okay, so we've got 2 shots to get a connection. A quiet warehouse is not going to help. So a quiet warehouse is only going to have... Ooh, but it would help if we want to do illegal fighting. Hoo boy, but we'd also need 2 cash to do this. I would have sold the pistol for this, but what we can do... Do we honestly think we can get away with this? I don't. I really don't. I think we're going to make far too much noise to pull this off, but what we can do is we can always get our cash back if we're unfortunate enough, but let's see what happens. We're going to risk our exit cash in order to get the quiet warehouse to try to get China going to do some legal fighting, because I don't have enough going on right now. All right, so, ooh, and we have a heart, which is interesting. 4 heart, 4 forge. Now, this isn't enough to be able to get through here, unfortunately. So, again, we've got to continue to do so. On the other hand, It will, if we can get one more thing to go with it, it will allow us to be able to get the, since it assists with the deception, if we get night or some other form of deception, or assist deception, we can get rid of the first trace that pops up. Because of the rate we're going to get a trace. It's just inevitable. Unless I don't see us getting really lucky, but you never know. Alright, boom. Oops. Alright, so we've got our first trace, but we have our official connection, which means we can get into here. This is going to make things extremely interesting. We're going to risk getting the connection here, because that will get us to 12. There's the vitality if we wanted to get rid of a wound, but there's the trace. Now, what we need, desperately, is to have another item that's going to allow us to get rid of that. Now, the question we have, there's the spy. Do we want to risk it? And yes, we do, because all we're going to lose if we lose here is the official connection, and yeah, it does all the darkness. We have the 12 lantern we need to pass this. If we're fast, we can get 3 obscurity if we're really good at this. And again, we have glimmering. I haven't quite figured out what we use glimmering for in this one, but you never know. But considering that we now have the trace up and running, yeah, we might as well just go with get the exit cache that we're going to need very shortly. If we're really lucky, we'll get the Invisible Serapeum done. I mean, we had a combination of faith, inspiration from the dawn. Oh gods, why do I need 2 C's? Well, I guess if I'm spelling some certain words, but not helpful now? Thanks. Ugh, glimmering. Okay, so... And once we're done here, we're definitely going to have to sell that quiet warehouse. It's too bad. Unless we really get lucky and there's something we can use to get rid of a trace. Import license. That's really not helpful. Alright, so. Cache is launched. We've got that. Now we need to sell the warehouse because we did not get lucky. Alright. That will take 30 seconds to get our 2 cash back. And of course, alright, yeah, we're still going through here. So, again, it's coming down to a race. See who gets what here first, how. Fortunately, if they keep asking for reinforcements, it's going to take longer for them to respond to us. And this is the last test we have, so we should be able to pull this off. Hopefully. Because once we get in here, boom, there's the cache. Now 3 cache. We have 29 seconds before this happens. We're going to start losing obscurity quickly, unfortunately. There it is, the agent. Now that's actually capable of stealing my assets, which is bad. Reinforcements. Nope, they're going to start summoning somebody else, which is good. Excellent, because we've got... Oh, we might as well just do this if we're going to be here in another 30 seconds anyways. Hey, again, we're pushing it hard. Alright, so, safely away. Now, I could have, if I wanted to risk it, by the way, I've done the official connection here. But what we're going to do here, while we still got the dawn, and the temptation, is we're going to get our thoughts of peace up and running. Now we have, let's see, the official connection will not be necessary in this regard, and the septum sepastarius. Okay, I've answered one of the outer elements of the Invisible Serapeum, the Invisible Library. A sunny pillared porch of paradoxical size with a certain Dr. Blackwood will offer me a seat and a glass of tea. Now, we're going to go here. Here we go. You know, I never approved of your career choices, she tells me, and I don't have much time for your choice of resignation method either, but I'm pleased to say you're parting ways with that scoundrel. Essentially the foe. I'm going to assume it was a moral decision. In the end, of course, you will have what little assistance I am permitted to have. Now, I've got to wait for the 10 seconds to come over here, because I did that. That might have been silly of me to do so. But we're going to move into the septerium. Then we're going to put in the temptation escape. Yes, I knew to mention it. Now you come to mention it, we do know a thing or two about avoiding unwanted attention. This will increase obscurity by 3. Now, this is the reason I was going to risk everything, because we're going to do it through 30 seconds, and we're going to have to deal with this, which is going to be a problem. Now, if I had kept the warehouse instead of the cache, I could probably burn a trace to get another one to be free, but we're going to be going for broke here. Possibly completely broke. But once we get... Alright, Alexandria, who cares about the trace? Night. Ooh, mother, we can do this. Move fast, though. We have 15 seconds to do this, and this costs me 10 seconds. Move fast. Normal speed, so we don't lose anything. Could actually get to the win condition, which means that we're going to be having a rather short episode if we're really lucky. But, you know me and luck. It's probably not going to happen. Oh, hi, there's the foe. Oh, minor reckoner lord. Whoops, no. But we can take the official we can take a trace, put it here, take the official connection plus the knights, and that helps deception. Remember, there's that tag right there. And we can burn that to get one of our obscurity. Now, I think we're going to lose at least one obscurity before we can leave, since it's blocking the travel card. Travel verb. All right, boom. Okay, so boom, 6 obscurity, and we'll have 7 as soon as this one goes by. Now, we may or may not make it, because the first thing I'm going to do, since we got a Reckoner Lord running, is we're going to run. And if we get this one over here, that's great. If we don't get it, that's also great. We've got 6. We want to be moving as quickly as possible. Boom, go. We might make it, we might not, and then we'll go on. Yeah, we're going to lose at least one of them. But we'll get 3 back. So this is going to be a net gain of 2, which is good. And we also have a backup in case he takes too many, which is an interesting way to have done this, but hey, we did it. There goes the cash I just got. And we're about to lose our first obscurity. But 6 is good, and that was definitely worth the run. Okay. Come on, go into Baghdad. Go into Baghdad. And 5. Don't know. Yeah, we're not going to get that other one. So, all in all, didn't do too great, but we didn't do too bad either. Let's see what we've got left. Boom. And did we get it? Yeah, we got this one, which is good. That brings us back up to 5, and we're going to get this one, I think, which brings us to 6. We did it. We got the 3 from Alexandria that I was desperately hoping for. That puts us up to obscurity 7. Sorry, 6 of 7. Boom. We definitely managed to get well, the invisible library helped make us invisible. Anyway, so we're now in Baghdad. So, Percy Styles is waiting for me at the station. His hair is an absolute fritz, but he's whitened with age. He looks more than ever like a merry, dissolute bishop. Dash good thing, he said, pumping my hand. Got us chance here for a spot of mutual back-scratching. Okay. Ooh, the location, official connection, that's Percy. And, of course, our stuff that we packed, plus the Baghdad card. We got yet another mission if we want to take it. I'm not sure I want to. Yep, and we currently have Tranquility going, the 4 Heart 4. Winter. Deep breath. All right, so we're here now. The official connection, of course, is going to be useful if we just want to leave. The Althenian Abyss. Now, that's an interesting one to pull. I know it's at the other end of it, and if this was a Defiance run, I would definitely be doing it, but right now, seriously, we are 6 out of 7. We do not need... We have 1 connection, therefore we just need to get 1 trace and 1 something that can, you know, be used to remove it. I mean, hell. Even if I got if I pull a remote from this, a remote destination from here, that's simply going to give me the 6th I want. We can leave immediately with the cash we have. But what we need to do first of all is find out where we're going from Baghdad. Set the cash aside for run, or 2 possibly, if necessary. All right, so. And no, they didn't follow us here, which is great. Oh, boy. Deep breath, deep breath. I know, not the most exciting thing, but the thing is about this game is it's either very exciting or very dull. It's very dull if you're doing it right, because nobody knows where the heck you are, but it's very exciting if you're doing it wrong, and people are coming to kill you. Oops, I also need to take it off normal. Alright, so our next destination, our old comrade in arms, Kara Kemal's connection with the Black Arm remnants in Istanbul. Perhaps his name will stir that. Okay, so Istanbul, otherwise known as Constantinople, by the way, is our next destination if things go south. It's not a remote, but it is troubled, which means we could, you know, we could set it on fire if we want to. I don't think we're doing it this run, though. We're trying to stay quiet, and starting a revolution is definitely not something you do quiet. Though, ironically, you can cover your tracks with it, which is absolutely wonderful. I had one run I was practicing for this. It was absolutely great as I started the counter-revolution in Russia in order to cover my tracks, and then murdered a Reckoner Lord in the confusion. Sometimes it just goes kind of nuts. Okay. Let's see. The Althenian Abyss. There's a nasty sort of power stirring up in the mountains, sealed away under the earth for years, but there was an earthquake, big hole open up. Bureau tells me there's something weaponry in there, but I'll be honest, I'd rather you had it than any of the local troublemakers. So you're trying to give it to the assassin on the run. Yeah. Gods. 6 and 8 and 4. That's the problem. I have to use 3 of them to get that, and then that makes it, or wait, only 8, and sorry, I'm doing some quick math here. I need 14 edge, which I've got with 2 equipment here, 6 knock, and 6 forge. The forge is good. All right, got that. The problem is the grail. I need moth or grail, and I don't have either of those. Okay, so just, no wait. I have 6 grail. Now, I can take Percy with me, but I still need the 3 cards here. 4 grail from something. I don't think grail's not one of the ones you can get easily around here. So, yeah. I think we just concentrate on finding somebody to help us hide. Because we've got, like I said, the official connection, which has the assist deception right there, which means I just need a second card and a trace. So the trace is easy enough to get. Let's see if we can find the second card. Actually, key at breaking us down into smaller weapons. A smaller amount of more powerful weapons is better because we can pack faster. Oops, switch fast forward, so we're not staying here forever. Let's see. The Brits. I work with the Brits. Of course I work with the Brits. Medical credentials was not what I was looking for. I could get them. That's the terrible thing. Problem is, with medical credentials, you need Grail, which I had still only 6 of, and Heart, which I had none permanently of, and that. So we're going to, and it would burn up my credentials, burn up my connections, which is not what we're shooting for at the moment. So we'll just keep an eye out, make sure Percy can scratch our back. Come on, Percy. Don't make me scratch your back with a dagger. All right, there's the trace, there's the trembling heat, which is not helpful. I mean, it's got 2 there, but that's still too short of Grail if I wanted it. All right, so try again. Now we got the trace. Let's see if we have to move along quickly. Interesting thing is, if I do this, I need the connections. I could get the medical license if I really wanted to rather quickly right now. And maybe I will if nothing else comes of this. Nothing else I can sell it. 2 traces and a gun. I don't need a gun. This is going to get bad real fast. Oh good, nothing the first run, but we know that's 2 traces is definitely going to be the second run. I need something else. Give me another connection. Radicals. Fine. I'll work with, I guess these are the Egyptians. You know, the local Islamic freedom fighters. Yeah, 100 years ago, but still the same old tune. All right. Boom. Take one of these traces. Move you here. That's going to be connection and connection. Cover my tracks between the radicals and the official. It's hilarious. Okay, so we'll get that knocked out in about 60 seconds. We don't want additional traces, so we're not going to be doing anything else except that, because that will, of course, allow us to do the win scenario, which is going to make this only about a half-hour episode if we do it successfully. Sorry, but sometimes, you know, when it works, when you're doing it right, the game's a lot faster. Okay, so, and we have 7. All right. Boom. Books are memories that deny, said somebody who'd never met a competent forger. I love that. Okay, so this is how we do it. And we communicate. Security through obscurity. If you're obscure, which is 7, you can send a taunting message to your reckoner foe before you disappear forever. All right. And 2. And 3. And 4. We got really lucky in Alexandria. 5. And 6. And 7. 7. A life forgotten. I'll be safe. Is that enough for me? If you have assets worth at least 20 comfort at the moment you disappear, you achieve a greater victory. We do not. Essentially, we are just going to disappear. That's it. We're not going to have any money. We're not going to have any identification. We're just going to be an anonymous person on the edge of 1925 society who's probably going to be forced to sell his murderous skills for habit. Although I like to think of it, you know, this guy with 2 magic swords walking through the wilderness of the world is really good plot for a anime. You know what I mean? I mean, it's kind of what happened in, it's kind of a couple of them. Oh, like, I've forgotten them, unfortunately. It's been so many years since I've seen some of the classic anime. But, in any case, let's bid our farewells. And you're too late. Do, 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 do. And we disappear into, I'm guessing, the Soviet wilderness. Boom. And we're gone. A quiet life. And so I did it. I got them off my trail. I haven't seen a reckoner since, but I couldn't risk them picking up my trail again, so I kept moving until I wound up here on the other side of the world. It's not a bad place, but I miss Paris, and I'm getting bored. I know that's dangerous. So I'm looking for funding for an expedition going south, see if this is true about they're heard from, see if it's true what we heard from Rit Viken about how that thing inland and what it's doing to the snow. Interviews with the Invisible, Hobart, Tasmania, December 1926. Basically, a year later. Yeah, essentially, our guy, like I said, he wanders off into the sunset. Dr. Kimball here. Mr. Kimball, we never got the medical license. And we're never heard from again. And we live a quiet life of adventure, exploration, but still feeling that gnawing hunger, as if we could have done better, as if rather than simply running away with a boatload of blood money that we'll never be able to spend, we could have done it better. And maybe we could have. Anyways, so, as you can see, even the game says that. Alright, so yes. The Exile. What if I had been different? In another history, did I reap greater rewards? So yeah, essentially we are playing the next Exile. It's going to be the, as I said before, the Defiance run, in which the point is to kill the foe, which of course means that we won't be doing Obscurity, and it's going to be probably a lot more exciting and probably take multiple times. But as I've stated before, I think, and don't quote me on this, I think either the week after this, the next episode, or the episode after this, I will have finally the grimoire done, because I have finished the script yesterday and I'll be recording that, and then I'll be adding the images. Hopefully, like I said, this will be good for next week. If it's not, and I do a Darkest Dungeon episode, understand the Darkest Dungeon episode is just filling in why I'm doing the editing. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. A lot of you have been talking about how you want me to do lore episodes, and I will love to do them for you. They just take, unfortunately, 3 times as long as a Let's Play. And it's going to be the first one I do. So it will become quicker as time goes on. I'm kind of hoping that 2022 is a year of lore for me, and that we get this and Control and Secret World, a lot of the episodes knocked out, means there would be a fewer Let's Plays every now here and there as a result, unless of course that the supporter goal, moving right into there, unless of course that we reach the 4th supporter goal and we get an additional series set on Monday. As it is right now, we just passed, like I said, 925, and we're approaching 950, which is an additional lore episode for Cultist Simulator, an additional Darkest Dungeon block, and of course we're coming quickly on 1,000, which is going to be after we finish the Exile. We'll do a Lantern Aspirant run called the Chancellor Palpatine one, in which I'd go full evil. And after that, if we get to 1,000 before I'm done with that, I will do the Lantern Apostle run, which is the hardest run in the entire game. Technically, I haven't even finished it yet. I stopped like 2/3 of the way through one because I just couldn't take it. It got to the point where I was like, I could win this, but it's going to take me a lot of time to do so. So this time I will take that time. I will go through. I will tear through the thing, and I will become the new god of light, the evil god of light, because light is evil in this world. Again, we're getting back to Gnosticism. God, I have 3 games running simultaneously that have not used Gnostic lore for Cosmic Horror. It's wonderful. In any case, of course, and if we currently with our supporters, I mean, if you of course like this, like, share, subscribe. Really let down below. If you really like it, is the supporters. You can become a supporter at 3 different levels, at 3 different sets of benefits, which include additional material and unlocking additional material for everyone. Like I said, if we get to the 4th stretch goal, we will have a new series on Monday. As it is, we have 3 additional episodes a month. I'm a little behind on that, unfortunately, due to this madness that was both the pandemic and the holiday special. Sorry, the holiday special. I already did that. Yeah, there might be more about that in the future, if some of you know. Any case, I've been rambling on for a bit too long, so I guess I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye.